Hey everybody, welcome back to Icelandic for Foreigners. In this episode, I'm going to be doing a review of the language learning application Mango.
Vertu blessaður. Vertu. Vertu. Blessaður. Blessaður. Vertu blessaður.
Mango is a language learning application that is available online or can be downloaded as an app if you have an iPhone. Mango really is a super cool application. I use it every day. It's not perfect. In this video, I'd like to take you through some of the pros and some of the cons of using it. Now, I do have to make a bit of a confession. I didn't personally use Mango languages to learn Icelandic. When I was learning Icelandic, I didn't have any apps. I didn't really have a computer at all. I used mostly books. But I have been using it extensively, learning Levantine Arabic. I know how it works. I've used it a lot. My wife right now is using it to learn Icelandic. So even though I haven't used it to learn Icelandic, I have a pretty good idea what it's capable of. Okay, the first thing I'd like to say about Mango languages is kind of a pro and kind of a con. First of all, the con is that it costs money. It's not free. In the United States, a single language per month costs $7.99, and to have access to all the languages, it costs $17.99. I know that that's pretty steep, especially when you can find a lot of language learning software out there for free. But the flip side of this, and one of the pros of using Mango languages, is you can often find it for free if you go through an organization like a university or a local library. At least here in the United States, I was able to go through my city's library who had purchased a subscription, so I'm able to use Mango unlimited for free, and I have been doing that for over 2 years now. So I highly recommend, if you're interested, especially if you're a university student, go find out if your university offers a subscription, because maybe you can be using it for free. Okay, let me talk about some of the other benefits of using Mango. The first thing is it has tons of languages available, a crazy amount of languages available, and that includes Icelandic. I mean, seriously, just look at all these languages. It's beautiful. So if you do spring for the unlimited use of all the languages, you're really getting a deal because there are so many languages available. It's awesome. Now, the next pro I'd like to talk about with Mango languages is it has real phrases for real situations. There's none of this "you have some very old dogs" nonsense like you might see on Duolingo, or how about "the bear is very smart." Now, maybe the bear is smart. I don't really know any bears, so I couldn't really tell you whether this sentence is helpful. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Duolingo. I actually think it's very useful for some things. That's a topic for another video. But at least when you're using Mango, you feel like the words will actually be useful later. Mango Languages really is a great resource for exposing yourself to a lot of helpful words. It chooses the words that you need. They're for real situations, real phrases. They will really help to build your vocabulary base. And I think this is one of the greatest benefits of using Mango Languages, is it just exposes you to a lot of new vocabulary. It's the kind of vocabulary that you'll actually hear in daily speech. And you'll start learning the flashcards, start learning the phrases in Mango Languages. It'll help you review them, and then you'll be more prepared to hear those phrases and hear those words in your daily conversation. The next really great thing I'd like to talk about with Mango is its use of spaced review. Now, when you learn a new word in a language, you don't just remember it forever and always after that. You have to review it constantly. And the best way to do this is to review it soon after you learn it, and then space out your next review a little bit more, so maybe a few days after, and then maybe a week after, and then maybe a few weeks, and then maybe a month after, to keep coming back to those words that you learn and going over them again. The great thing about Mango Languages is it does all of this for you. It spreads out the review in a really helpful way. So after you learn something new, the next day when you open the application, it will ask you if you would like to review, and you click yes, and then it will take you through the things that you learned the previous day. Then it'll also take you through some of the things that you learned a few days earlier, or maybe a few weeks earlier. And then every once in a while it'll pop up with something that you learned a few months ago so that you never forget it. It's really helpful. It's one of the keys of language learning, and it does all the hard work for you. You don't have to deliberately schedule out when you're going to review each word, because it just takes care of it for you. Now let me tell you about some of the cons of Mango language. First of all, the Icelandic course is not as comprehensive as some of the other languages. As you can see, Icelandic has a little over 100 lessons available, whereas some of the other languages have several hundreds. Arabic, for example, has over 500. The next con I'd like to talk about is Mango Languages doesn't go super deep into the grammar. Now, it does occasionally give you notes about the grammar, letting you know what you're seeing, including with Icelandic, it'll tell you about the cases that you're using, but you can't rely on it to give you a deep, in-depth look at the declensions, for example, or the verb conjugations. It will definitely expose you to different verb conjugations, but it's not going to give you a comprehensive overview of the grammar. If you want that, you're going to have to go outside of Mango Languages. Now, that's true for any language learning software, any language learning application. You're going to have to do supplemental work. You're going to have to get the books. You're going to have to read about the grammar online. Mango Languages is not all that you need to learn Icelandic. You need more, but it is helpful. So as long as you go into that with that mindset that it's not going to teach you all the grammar, you're going to have to do that yourself, it will give you great exposure to the language. Another con I'd like to talk about is Mango Languages doesn't use a wide variety of methods to test your skills. With Duolingo, you have voice input, and you can type in the answers, and you can build the sentence by selecting the individual words, and that's really fun and really helpful. Unfortunately, Mango Languages doesn't have that. It really is just a very advanced flashcard system. So it presents a flashcard with you that you've already seen, and if you get it right, then you click yes, I got it right, and if you don't, you have to be honest and click no. Now, it's not a big deal, but it does make it not quite as engaging as maybe Duolingo does, for example. Anyway, that's my take on Mango Languages. I really like it. I think it's great to build your vocabulary base and also to help you really learn those words well through spaced review. If you're using Mango Languages, I'd be interested in hearing what your experience is with it. So feel free to leave a comment below or leave any questions that you may have. Happy studying. Bless, bless.